It's done, as Tajon Buchanan, the 26-year-old Canadian star and winger, is on the move, joining Spanish side and La Liga club in Villarreal. And this is a very exciting transfer as he leaves the Serie and Inter Milan behind and joining Villarreal on a permanent move. Joining the Yellow Submarines, his new home, his new club for the foreseeable future, and arguably the most crucial move and crucial season in Tajon Buchanan's career ahead of the 2026 World Cup, and he might have just made the right choice. He might have found the perfect destination for himself ahead of the World Cup. But the big question for Tajon Buchanan is, where does he fit into the side for Villarreal? With Villarreal also undergoing a major rebuild and a retool throughout the offseason, losing their arguably two best players within the squad, as well as bringing in two very exciting signings within Tajon Buchanan, as well as another winger. There's a huge question around where Tajon Buchanan fits into Villarreal. How much minutes does he truly earn at Villarreal? And was this the right move? And we're going to break it down, guys, giving you guys my thoughts and opinions around the transfer and diving into this move. But before we do, guys, drop into the comments. Let me know your thoughts around Tajon Buchanan joining Villarreal. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the content. It really helps out the channel. And hit that sub button. But we're going to drive straight into it, as Tajon Buchanan joins Villarreal for a fee of $10 million, leaving Inter Milan and the Serie behind and heading off to the Yellow Submarines, as Inter Milan also gets a 20% sell-on clause in the case of a future sale for Tajon Buchanan in this move. But a huge tip of the cap has to go to TSN's Matthew Chinetti, who first broke this transfer ahead of Fabrizio Romano. And this is a very exciting move for Tajon Buchanan, and the fact that this isn't another loan deal is crucial for the 26-year-old Canadian winger, as Tajon Buchanan could have left Inter Milan away on loan once again on a prove-it deal, on a prove-it contract, on a loan move on a short-term basis until January, or a season-long loan move and prove himself and get consistent football ahead of the 2026 World Cup, and proving himself at another club, but he didn't do that. He found himself a club that he's very familiar with. He found himself a club where he fits into like a glove. And this was a great choice for Tajon Buchanan to already find that club where he's proved himself with. Already on that loan deal at Villarreal last season, where he played very well. He had a decent stint, especially pre-injury at Villarreal. Tajon Buchanan was proving himself and playing some of his best football in Europe, having 13 appearances across his loan stint with Villarreal, having 1 goal, 2 assists, and clinching Champions League football last year for Villarreal, scoring the winner against FC Barcelona, having crucial assists to the end of the season for Villarreal. Tajon Buchanan played very well for his loan move at Villarreal, which helped him earn a permanent transfer back at the Yellow Submarines, joining a club that he knows the tactical system, he knows the outset, he knows what the manager is going to demand on a daily basis from the 26-year-old Canadian star. So Tajon Buchanan walks into training, he walks into Villarreal knowing what the manager wants, knowing the club in and out, which is huge and is crucial for the Canadian in a very important season, while also knowing the formation that they're going to play 4-4-2, knowing that he has a legitimate shot at breaking into the starting 11, but also gets the support of the manager on a daily basis, but gets the support from the supporters. The supporters took to Tajon Buchanan like a house on fire. They absolutely supported Tajon Buchanan. At some points of the season, they were saying they have a true right winger once again. And that was pre-injury, when he was showing his ability, when he was dynamically running with the ball, getting his confidence back. And that is the Tajon Buchanan we have also seen for the Canadian national team this summer. As he heads back to Villarreal, the major question around this move is, where does he fit in to the Villarreal and Yellow Submarine squad? Well, like I said, they went under a retooling. They went under semi-rebuilding this offseason, losing 2 of their best players in Alex Baena, who was their left winger last season, was their second best player in terms of goal and assist contributions last year. He departs, leaving the side for Atletico Madrid, signing for 42 million euros with one of the biggest clubs within La Liga, as he leaves Villarreal departing with 16 goal contributions last season, which is a major hole to fill, while also their second best player leaving this season is Thierry Henry, a French striker leaving for Everton Football Club in the Premier League on a €30 million deal, but also had 15 goal contributions, one less than Alex Baena. Yes, he plays up top, but he was a very exciting talent, and that leaves the club losing 31 goal contributions between Alex Baena and Thierry Henry, and bringing in Tajon Buchanan helps and fills that void, along with the winger they have brought in from Las Palmas in Alberto Molero, who is probably the like-for-like replacement for Alex Baena. So that takes up that left midfielding spot with Alberto Molero, who comes in from Las Palmas with a lot of experience in La Liga. But still, this is a side who has a lot of attacking options, a lot of winger options, but also needs to fill a major void in goals and assists that they have lost this summer through Thierry Henry and Alex Baena. And with Tajon Buchanan returning, who is a winger who knows the system, knows the outlet, knows the outlook from the manager, what he is going to want, gives him a legitimate run at a starting 11 place this season. And I think there is a real chance we could see Tajon Buchanan earning consistent minutes in the starting 11. What is a major thing for Villarreal is this season, they're going to be playing on multiple fronts. The Champions League, La Liga, Spanish Cup competitions. This is a huge opportunity for Tajon Buchanan to not just start on a regular basis, but prove himself in a competition, in a major competition in the Champions League, to prove himself and get minutes in the Cup, and then work his way into the La Liga squad. This is a side that has two wingers in Nicolas Pepe and Yeremy Pino at the right wing, and Alex Baena's now predecessor in Alberto Molero and Arnaud Danjuma at left midfield. Well, what Tajon Buchanan has going for him very well is he knows the system more than Alberto Molero, but also he knows the setup, and he is a very versatile winger. What Tajon Buchanan can do very well is play off the right midfield, which is of course his primary position where he'll look to break into this Villarreal side, but he can also start at left midfield at a pinch. He is a very versatile winger to be able to play both sides very well at a stretch, which is a huge feather in his cap for a side that is playing in multiple fronts and multiple competitions and will be stretched to some extent, especially if an injury comes along. Unfortunately for a Villarreal winger, Tajon Buchanan can step in at either side, which is a huge feather in his cap. But of course, what Tajon Buchanan brings you is his dynamic dribbling ability, and when he is on confidence, he is flying. Plays with a lot of pace, plays with a great dribbling dynamism, can get at the back line, has a great cross and delivery on him when his confidence is high, when he is on form, which we saw for the Canadian national team this summer. And there's the potential for Tajon Buchanan to fit this Villarreal side even better than he did last year. Before his injury last year, he was playing some of his best football he has had in his European career. And if he can stay fit, stay consistent, he can get back to that. And I legitimately see Tajon Buchanan starting for Villarreal to kick off the La Liga season. Whether it's ahead of Yeremy Pino at right midfield, which is a serious option, or at left midfield, I see Tajon Buchanan starting in matchday 1 for Villarreal in La Liga. And for me, this is seriously an A+ signing for Tajon Buchanan. He was linked with sides like Sassuolo in Serie A, which would have forced him to play left wing due to Domenico Berardi being at Sassuolo, blocking out that right wing position for Tajon Buchanan. So it already shows he can play at multiple positions. The fact he went with his side that's in the Champions League, he was with last season, he knows the club in and out. It's a smash out of the park. This is a grand slam signing for Tajon Buchanan. I wouldn't normally give signings an A+ move, but this is truly an A+ from Tajon Buchanan in every single front possible. And I don't see how you can make this transfer look bad in any way. He went from not being wanted at Inter Milan, proved himself at Villarreal, came to the La Liga, won and proved himself by punching their ticket into the Champions League. And by doing that, he punched Villarreal into profit, into money, into generating great sums of funds to be able to buy players like Alberto Molero, to be able to fund a transfer to bring himself back to Villarreal. And the fact he has staved off signing for a side in the lower ends of Serie A, which still wouldn't have been a terrible move, but goes from a potential lower side in Serie A to a Champions League outfit in Villarreal, it's an amazing move. And it's an A-plus transfer for Tajon Buchanan, in my opinion. And I absolutely love this move for Tajon Buchanan, the 26-year-old Canadian right midfielder who brings a lot of excitement to Villarreal in a perfect move for the Canadian winger. But let me know where you guys think he will fit for Villarreal, if he will start, what kind of minutes he will get, because I think this is a smash of the park. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button, guys, if you're enjoying the content, if you think this is the right move for Tajon Buchanan, and hit that sub button, guys, to move closer to 700 subscribers, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.